What happens when you want to celebrate the natural color of whiskey? Apparently, you get purple. Welcome to the Whiskey Catapult, where we catapult around the world trying whiskeys from all over the world. So today we're catapulting over to Scotland for the Highland slash Speyside region for some Macallan. Because why not? So this is Macallan edition number 5. It's part of their 6-bottle series. And this one is specifically celebrating the Macallan spectrum of natural color, which is inspired by the world-renowned Pantone Color Institute to create a unique and existing complexity shade of purple. So to celebrate their whiskey color, purple, sure. But this one is bottled at 48.5%. It does not say if it is non-chill filtered or natural color, but there are some indications that lean towards that it's not. But they don't say it on the label, so your guess is as good as mine. So why am I reviewing this Macallan over other ones? There's a long list of Macallans that are out there that are available. You can have the Macallan 12 Double Oak, 1518, there's Sherry Cask, there's Classic Cut, a lot of variety. They do limited editions pretty regularly. I currently own 3 bottles of Macallan. There's this one, which is almost gone, which is why I wanted to talk about it. I've got one of their essentials, the Rich Cacao, the Harmony series. And then I've got their Night on Earth in Scotland special release. So most of those I've had before I ended up buying a bottle to know that they're good. I used to have a bottle of Macallan 12, but I finished that one a long time ago. So Macallan's one of those distilleries that the enthusiast group is kind of like, it's not worth what you're spending the money on. You're kind of paying more for the brand than the whiskey, and in most cases, I would agree. This is one of my favorite Macallans, which is partially why I own it. But a friend of mine, really big into Macallan, one of his favorite distilleries. He has had a lot of different ones of the series. He's had the edition 3, 4, 5, and 6. And of those, 5 was my favorite. It was still in stores at the time, so I went and bought one right as the price went a little bit higher for it. I think I paid $150 for this one around that time. Might have been closer to $130, but somewhere in that range. So, but I liked it well enough to pick up a bottle, and I've been enjoying it pretty well since. Macallan's always got a good nose, that's for damn sure. It's rich, it's sherry, it's deep, but it's still got this nice sweetness to it. It's got some dark fruits. It's very fragrant. This would make a very nice candle, but it's really good. That sherry and richness is coming through really strong. There's a very light oak at the very baseline. Just a faint bit of vanilla. Not a lot, but it's not quite. It's not quite creamy. It's more just kind of like that vanilla extract kind of note. On the very back end, you get this rich, savory honey kind of note. Really nice. So finish lingers for a little while. It's light. You get a lot of that sherry coming through still. Very light oak, still just kind of like right there at the baseline. It's a good one. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. So I love the noses of Macallan. Very rarely does that transfer to the palate for me. Like the Macallan 12 standard, really great nose. Anytime I drink it after smelling it, I get let down. It doesn't quite have the ring to it. The only 2 bottles that I recall, official bottlings of Macallan, that I've had where the nose matches the palate, or vice versa, I guess, is the Macallan Rare Cask, which costs $300, steep, or the Macallan Estate, also costs $300, steep. So Definitely not one that I like getting too involved with, just from a price perspective. I mean, there's tons of videos out there talking about different alternatives to Macallan. A lot of people recommend Tamdu as a better slash cheaper option. Um, you know, Glenallachie is another one that I think people really recommend. But they're everywhere out there. I think there is a place for Macallan. There's a place for it to be had. It does seem like they're trying to get back in the good graces of the enthusiast market. They released I think it's Macallan Full Proof or cast strength version. It's an absolute sherry bomb. Pretty good. It doesn't quite have that Macallan profile for me, where you still get some like the oak influence on it. It's a little bit too forward on the sherry side for me. So where I kind of like the profile of the regular Macallan 12 a little bit better, to the point where it'd be like, why can't you just make the regular Macallan 12 cast strength? I feel like that'd be a better version of it, but that's just me. But we'll see. I've heard some of the really old balls of Macallan are really good. Never had the opportunity to try them. I've had one or two from independent bottlers. Those have been really good. So it definitely has its place. But this is a ball that, like I said, I spent about 150 on it. This was definitely a few years back when it was still available. Obviously, after the number collection, they shifted to the Harmony collection with like the rich cacao, the black tea, jasmine tea, stuff like that. Going for different like notes that you can find in whiskey and stuff like that, and really focusing on that. And I like the idea of it. I got the rich cacao one. That ball was like $200. After that, I was like, I don't want to spend that kind of money on every single release that pops out from them. So, but I see this one at auction pretty regularly, and I think it goes for that same like 140, 150 kind of range. It's not as crazy as like the number one and number two that are much harder to find. They had quite a lot of these out in the market. I think a lot of people picked them up during the whiskey boom. It was like, oh, I'll make some profit on this and sell it later. It hasn't panned out for them. So their loss is your gain. Okay. It's gotten a little bit sweeter with water. We still get that really nice rich sherry. Dark fruit's still there. It's still fragrant, just kind of popping out of the glass. I can smell it perfectly fine from here. Mm. Okay. The richness has calmed down a little bit, and it's a little bit more of a mellow sherry, but you still get some of that light oak just kind of coasting along the bottom. Still get a little bit of that faint vanilla in there. It's a little bit harder to find, but it's still there. Mm. Yeah, you still get that rich savory honey at the end. That's what's doing it for me on this one. The combination of that sherry and honey just kind of shifting around is excellent. Mm. Yeah, finish still lingers well. Still kind of in that sherry forward, that light oak undertone. I do actually get a little bit of that savory honey now in the finish, which is very nice. So pretty good. I wish they'd put it on the bottle if this was non-chill filter natural color. I mean, that's a big selling point. But I've gone to a tasting event where a brand rep was talking about it, saying, yeah, like, yeah, we don't add coloring to our whiskey. We don't do this, that kind of stuff. Well, if you don't do that, put it on the bottle. It's hard to believe you otherwise, but that's my opinion. Hopefully they don't watch this video and have backlash on me for saying stuff like that, but is what it is. So yeah, I'm a fan of this one. It's not very often I get a Macallan. Like I said, they're kind of priced out of my range for most of their releases outside of their just like regular 12, which I got a lot of other whiskeys that I don't really need a staple like that to go back to personally. So, but they're still good. I get why the enthusiasts kind of, rag on a little bit. The prices are insane for some of their stuff. I know they recently just released a James Bond 18 years special anniversary release or something like that. That was like $450 or something crazy. Where it's like, guys, there's no way. There's no way it's worth that. There's no way. From an overall drinking and whiskey perspective. Now, if you're just looking to buy some balls to flaunt your wealth and be like, "Oh, look at this," and yada yada yada, more power to you. Must be nice. But for me, just going for daily drinkers and stuff like that, I'm looking for good flavor experiences, good drinks, and good times. This is one of the few that delivers. So I recommend it if you're able to find it. I wouldn't pay more than 150 for it if you do. I'm sure that some people are still trying to inflate the price for the high end market and stuff like that. But like I said, you can find this one at auction for 150, if not a little bit less. I think it's worth that. I think it's worth your time. A friend of mine does like number 6 better than this one. I disagree. I like 5 a little bit better than 6. 6 just was a little bit more sweet sherry focused. It didn't have some of that oak coming through. So, but it's been quite a while since I've had that one too. So palates change. But yeah, this one's good. I recommend it. So if you enjoyed this review, hit that like button and subscribe to see where we catapult off to next. Cheers.